Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. To begin, I'd like to congratulate all of my classmates today for successfully reaching yet another milestone. Like every other graduate who has sat on a football field in June, we have been urged to follow our dreams, to make the world a better place, and to be successful. Well, to be completely honest, I have no idea how to do any of that. I'm not sure what my dream is, how I can have any impact on this crazy, unpredictable world, and once we leave the world of standardized testing, what does success even look like? Is it when we earn another degree, when we get our dream job, or our parents' dream job? I think I may speak for many of us sitting here today when I say it's all a bit overwhelming. But as I think back to the people who have made the biggest impact on my life, their success doesn't lie in their education or their occupation, but instead in the compassion that they so readily embody. For instance, it might be a little hard to believe that I willingly partook in any athletic activities in my life, but there were a few short years when I was a swimmer, and while I loved the sport itself, minus the Band-Aid-filled gutters, I found myself struggling under the pressures to perform. Ultimately, it was my mom, dad, and aunt who, instead of pushing me further, displayed compassion and wisdom by advising me to take a step back, understanding that my mental health was more important than any certificate on a wall. So, just as I had my family, we all have those people in our lives that have consistently adopted simple acts of kindness to look out for us and to make our days infinitely better. And while the small choices to be considerate, compassionate, and grateful in our daily interactions might not seem like the most typical definition of success, each of these actions accumulate to make a positive change in the lives and communities around us. I think that we can agree that our world needs more people to embrace these qualities more often, and I trust that we are all capable of embodying them every day. Well, at the very least, on most days. So, as we sit here tonight at what feels like the scary beginning of this unknown future, we can remember that small actions and little goals, coupled with compassion, perseverance, and a bit of luck, may be enough to send us well on our way. The future is not a completely blank canvas because we have spent the 12 years painting our backgrounds with our own distinctive palettes. We've survived so far, and even if we look to the future not knowing how to be successful, we can always start by thinking about the small actions of the kind people who have supported and inspired us. Armed with the right attitude and with little goals in mind, we are ready to slowly begin to paint our new paths. As stated by the artist Vincent van Gogh, great things are done by a series of small things brought together. So while we may not know the end point, we can take comfort in knowing that we will get there one step at a time. And now I'd like to introduce the next speaker, Anthony Hayes.